heart is low, my heart is so low, as only a woman's heart can be, as only a woman's, as only a woman's, as only a woman's heart can know.
Picture.
That's me when I was my high school graduation picture.
Wow, Sarah, that's beautiful. How long have you lived here?
35 years in this house.
And you have 5 months to pack up 34 years worth.
Yeah.
So just start at the beginning.
At the beginning, okay, there was a meeting. We received a letter saying there's going to be a meeting in a tent that we're setting up just for you with catered little wonderful goodies to come and talk about reclamation, which is going to be resumed. We lived through it already. We knew what it was like. And I felt personally, why should I go to this meeting? I already know what reclamation is like. But there was a little sentence in that letter that indicated there might be something of concern, because it said something like, this will impact your area and your residences. And I thought, wait a minute, our residences aren't up on the slopes. Why should it impact us? But I didn't want to think about it because it was scary. So the meeting happened. I did not go. It was right next to my house. They put that tent up the day before, and the wind was wild that night. It never blows at night. It always calms down at night, but the wind thrashed wildly all night long, and it flapped that damn tent. The flaps of the tent were slapping and banging. I didn't sleep the whole night. So by the morning I was like totally exhausted, and there was no way I would even have considered going anywhere. So I heard that at the meeting there was a policeman present that Freeport had brought with them, and I thought, a policeman? For what? And then, of course, they go to the meeting and find out that it's not just about reclamation, it's about we're being evicted. And the policeman was there apparently to protect the speaker, who was Richard Ducote.
This is June 2nd.
Yes, June 2nd. I was told that the people at the meeting who were there told me no one said a word. I mean, they were totally in shock. And all of us were in shock after that for quite a long time. And we're still in shock in a sense, because it's still hard to believe. Here I am sitting in my wonderful little house of half of my lifetime I've been here. And this isn't, I'm not going to be home anymore? And this wonderful land that I love, that I've tended for all these years, that I adore, that I nurture, and which nurtures me and all the wildlife, is not going to be outside my window anymore? You just can't get it. You just can't get it. It's too big. It's like trying to understand infinity. You know, how do you imagine something that goes on forever, and it feels like your life here will go on forever? And so that was how it started. And then, of course, people started talking to each other and expressing. The grief was tremendous. People were crying. I called Smiley. He could not talk for crying. Finally said, I have to get off the phone. Sorry, you know. And people just couldn't control the grief that was pouring out of them. And yeah, Smiley up the hill here had a stroke a few days after we were notified.
I didn't know that.
He was going to rent there for the rest of his life. He loved it, and he built a beautiful little art studio for himself. He's a painter. And he had to leave all of that. And he told me it's just a completely different life to not be here. And he's in town. He's an old bee.
Mm-hmm.
And he sounds pretty bad. I mean, he can't speak well. You know, he survived the stroke, but he's getting speech therapy next month, apparently. And people have been helping him out. And so that was, you know, clearly a result of the stress that he suffered. Sure. Because the shock was unbelievable. I mean, you think you're going to be here the rest of your life. Phelps Dodge said not to worry, it's fine, you know, it's too much trouble to get rid of you. We don't have to worry about losing your houses. And when they did move people out of their homes, or move the homes in the past, they gave them plenty of time to do it. They didn't crunch them out in 5 months. People are wandering around here. They can't get themselves motivated. They're still paralyzed by the immensity of what they're looking at, which the company doesn't seem to appreciate or care about. But we're senior citizens. I mean, I'm over 65, and everyone else is right around there. This is a very intimate community. It's being torn apart. We have friends that won't be living next to each other anymore, won't be neighbors. We have families that are used to visiting each other all the time that won't be living even near each other. You know, they're breaking up families. It's really huge what a lot of people are facing. I spoke with a psychotherapist about this, and she said no one could stand this much stress. And I'm watching people crack from it and unable to function because of it. And this is wrong. This is immoral. This is unjust. You know, Freeport is a very powerful company. They have the ability to do anything they want about this and do it really nicely. And I don't understand why they couldn't just give us the time and the money that most people need to buy a comparable house, which you can't buy with the amount that we're being given. Why didn't they just, you know, give us a year or two and give us the money? They wouldn't have hurt a squeak out of anybody. We all would have been able to do this in a manner that wouldn't have stressed us to the extent that we're traumatized. I mean, I wake up in the middle of the night shaking with anxiety, literally trembling inside. But the waking up in the morning, that's the hardest time. Waking up in the morning and remembering it isn't a bad dream that's really not real, but it is real. It is a living nightmare. It is the most difficult thing I have faced in my life. And all we really have is each other, because we're the only ones who know how we feel. Nobody can understand this but us, because we're living it. I mean, somebody grabbed onto me the other day and just cried on me, and she said, "What is going to become of us?" This was after watching your video. And I just held her. I mean, I didn't know what to say. What is going to become of us? People tell me, let me know what becomes of you. You know, good luck. If I hear good luck one more time, I'm going to scream my head off. I don't need good luck wishes. I need help. I mean, is there some professional that can help me make these decisions? Do I need to see a builder about the house and the land? And I mean, I don't know what the hell to do. And I can think things through really well if I have the time to do it. I don't make major life decisions in 5 months. That's how I feel about it, and that's how everybody feels about it, but nobody's willing to speak up. They're terrified the company is going to chop their heads off or take away the money that they're going to give us or whatever it is. Only one person had the guts to stand up for herself and refuse to give in to every single demand, unfair demand, I should say. She told me I have to feel good about myself. I can't do this if I don't feel right. Now that's being true to yourself. So we think that people are starting to call her our hero. So we have a hero now. And I'm not it. There is no more heinous crime that a human can commit against another human than domination. That is it. I read that. Think about all the crimes that fit under that heading. So we are being totally taken over in a most unkind way and left to fend for ourselves. And if you make it, great. If you don't, well, too bad. You know, to me that is the height of callousness. That is the height of cruelty, of unfairness, injustice, you name it. This is not how you treat people, not people that you have jurisdiction over, who you have some responsibility to. So, that's what I have to say. They're actually originally from China, and they're called Tree of Heaven, and they spread underground. They send a little rhizome out, and that's why they call them cancer trees around here, because you can't stop them once they get started. Look at this. See all these dead trees?
Yeah.
This was a forest that was so thick you couldn't see the house, and it gave me incredibly cooled my house off. Looking out my window, I see this gorgeous greenery, and I think I'm living in Hawaii, you know. It was fantastic, and it just died in one season. Suddenly, the season before, it's gorgeous. Every tree is full. New ones are growing up. And the next season, they died. All the leaves fell off, and they all turned orange with this splashed orange colors all over them. See this? That's the poison. Those are the heavy metals.
That's the lead?
That the plant is soaking up from the soil. And these leaves will shrivel up and dry and fall off. So that lead that came from those slopes that were left uncovered for about 4 to 6 months before they covered them with the new soil, that lead dust blew onto my land, and that's what it comes right up to the house. I know where it is because I can see how the plants respond, and I'll show you one that just.
Is that when you started feeling sick too?
Yeah, right after reclamation ended, 2 years. It took 2 years for me to get sick. I have lead poisoning as a result of reclamation.
Really?
I took a test that isn't the only really good lead detecting test that there is. And my results were off the chart. So my doctor said, you need to treat this. You have lead poisoning. And the barium was very high also. And mercury and cadmium were not in the dangerous range.
Restless eyes reveal my troubled soul, and memories flood my weary heart. I mourn for my dreams, I mourn for my wasted life. And while I know that I'll survive alone, my heart is low, my heart is so low, as only a woman's heart can be. As only a woman's, as only a woman's, as only a woman's heart can know. My heart is low, yes, my heart is so low, as only a woman's heart can be. As only a woman's, as only a woman's, as only a woman's heart can know. My heart is low, yes, my heart is so low, as only a woman's heart can be.